Vicksburg High football season is just moments away from kickoff as we welcome you back to the pregame show. Vicksburg and Natchez coming up in a matter of moments. Glad you can join us. Another season of high school football ready to get started. Have to deal with a little bit of weather here on this Friday night. Start high school football. Charles Edmond here with Vicksburg High coach Chris Lacey. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Man, I don't know. Was there an off season? It just seemed like from the end of last season till here we are, another year. Time went by a little bit faster.
Yeah, it don't stop. When you keep yourself occupied, it speed up and do what it's supposed to do. So we excited to play tonight.
Yeah, you're excited, and just talk about the off season. How exciting was the off season? Trying to move past last season, ready for an exciting season starting with.
It was really exciting. We, as a team, kind of eliminated what happened last year just from our membranes. Erased the memory card and kind of just focus on what's in front of us. Like I told the boys, everybody is 0-0. So that's our focus right now. Like, we learn what you learned from the mistakes you made last year and all the stuff that went on, but then you just move on. If you dwell on it, it'll kill you. So we kind of passed that. So that's what we focus on now. It's been fun. We had 95% attendance all summer. Spring went well, and it's time to play ball now.
You seem to be the type that moves on pretty quickly, but when you're dealing with youngsters, it kind of sticks with you, it kind of dwells with you. What did you do as a coach, as a mentor, as an adult, even in life, you move past things. For young folks, it's kind of difficult for some.
Well, I told them all, in order to be, people might think I'm crazy, but I always thank God for failures because that's how you learn. Like, you can't learn unless you go through something tough. It make you stronger. So that's my message to the boys is like, football, life, anything, you're going to have mistakes and failures and shortcomings, and you just got to kind of learn from them, I've been broke up before by girls and everything like that, so you just move on, you move on to the next. So that's kind of like my message to the boys and just trying to get them to understand that, and it is my job to do so. And like I told them, the biggest burdens, put them on me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just focus on football and I'll handle the rest.
Well, just watching the Jamboree last week, clearly the defense was getting off the field, and offensively had some things, and then late in the scrimmage, you were able to make some things happen and get a deep shot and get a touchdown and a PAT, and you're able to beat Clinton in that scrimmage. So how would you characterize this team compared to last year in terms of defensively, finding ways to get off the field, offensively, like we saw in the Jamboree, make plays and get an opportunity?
Well, first, you just got to give a shout-out to the senior class. We got a big senior class, like 30 of them. So, and most of them, last year they had to grow up kind of in the fire when you lose Ronnie and Tata and all those guys. So you're going to have kind of like a little drop-off. But they took their wounds last year, and they've come back and led very well during the offseason. Me being back on the defensive side of the ball, I think kind of helps a little bit. Me, Coach Wilson, Coach Knight, we working well together on kind of building that defense up the way it's supposed to be. People already know at Vicksburg we're going to play defense. I always say that, like, we're going to build the best defense we possibly could build to. That's how you win championships. So we do that to try to put that in. And then offensively, we got 15 deep seniors. But offense, if anybody know ball, it take a little time. We didn't have a spring game, so we weren't able to, any kind of kinks we needed to kind of work on in to get it on. But I look at it like this, usually past 2 years we struggle with play clock and things of that nature. We ain't had them problems Friday, so we got off the field. We got them on the field, got to play in, that kind of win. And then it's going to take some time. So hopefully that game allowed us to see what it is we need to really work on when it comes to offense. But I'm not worried about them. If them guys come in and do what they're supposed to do, they can be a very dominant offense.
What's the next level for your defense? Good as they were, as many times as they got off the field last year, kept us in it. You always want to be better. You always want to improve. What's the next level better?
My big word is chasing perfection. We can never be perfect. So as long as you chasing perfection, you always trying to chase this thing you can't catch, but it's going to always make you be better every week. Clinton last week was 0 for 14 throwing the football. I think that's a good stat. Like I told the kid, they was 0 for 14, but we only had 1 interception. How about we get 5 interceptions? Just chase the things that seem like they aren't obtainable, but you always overdo it trying to chase something that's unattainable, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the thing with the defense, and they just being good. If they don't score, they don't win. So you can always chase them not being on the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? Kind of tick you off if that happened. That 3 points made me mad. So I hope it made them mad. And that's kind of how we do it.
And offensively, talk about the next level there. It was a struggle last year. How would you?
Just the execution, like I say, not having a spring game and hitting each other all day. You kind of pick up on what it is that your opponent, that you're doing in practice. But now it's preparing for somebody else. And we want a dominant mindset. We didn't run the ball well Friday, but again, we implementing 3 new running backs, who've never carried the ball on a Friday night for real. So it's going to take them time to get used to it. DeCory was running that ball and Blackmore running that ball for 3 years. So that just comes with time. I'm patient enough to understand that that's what's going to happen. But in practice, I see them every day. When they want to be dominant, they're going to be dominant. So hopefully tonight, that's what we do, and that's the expectation.
Speaking of perfection at the quarterback position, Michael Maxey got it. Have to.
It be Jamaica. I tell him all the time, be yourself. I told him one of my mistakes I made last year was trying to be somebody else. Trying to be another coach that I saw or something like that. Success comes most of the time when you are being yourself. So like I told him, whoever Jamaica Maxey is, I need you to be Jamaica Maxey and continue to do that.
I think with the running game, the offensive line, and obviously talk about how important.
They big. All 5 of them got scholarship offers. So in that, you got talent up front on the offensive line. And like I tell them, do not turn down on, the aggression that you bring to the game. I expect y'all to be, leaders for us and be a veteran group. So they understand the assignment. They got a good offensive line coach, and their offensive line coach just so happened to be the offensive coordinator. So it's just trying to get this offense to click the way it's supposed to click.
Burrow ass happy running the football, ground and pound. Is that kind of the typical Vicksburg High offense with all the new people?
Well, we want to run the ball. That's the definite of football is being able to run the ball. You run the ball, you can control the clock. So what I want to happen is that we got playmakers everywhere. You got the Quans, you got the Boogies, you got Marquise. It's a lot of guys on that offense that can touch the ball and score. We're going to try to do a good job of getting it to all of them.
Then special teams. Talked about kicking. I've run into a guy at the gas station that he knows soccer, he knows kickers, and he can bring you some kickers. What did you look at with that in the offseason?
We got a good kicker, Abel Gonzalez. If you ain't never met Abel, go meet him. He about 6'3", big old body kid. He booting the ball well. So, people always say Vicksburg need a kicker, Vicksburg need a kicker. Well, we got a kicker. He a good kid. You can get his autograph when you see him. And don't act surprised when you see him kicking a field goal. So, I got the utmost confidence in Abel. He kicked the ball well Friday. You could hear it from the stands. I heard it from the sideline. So, he a good kicker. So, when you see him, give a shout out to him. He can do it.
Definitely that for sure. And also, you have a kicker. That takes a lot of pressure off you in terms of making decisions, in terms of how you game plan the rest of the game. You got to go for 2 all the time.
Right.
One, you got to make the. So having a kicker kind of makes you relax a little bit on the sideline, even in the moment, and looking forward in terms of a game is close. What do you need to do? Get 2, go for 1, whatever the case may be.
I got confidence in his leg. He booting it right now. He made a 47-yarder in practice the other day, so I know he can kick. And he worked hard this offseason. He got stronger. He got bigger. He did everything he needed to be an asset. He want to play college ball, so he doing what he need to do. So it won't be no Vicksburg. No, we're going to kick the ball, and you're going to have to respect it, and we're going to be dangerous when we do it, and it's the type of ball we're going to play.
So in high school, 47-yarder, that means you're placing it at the 30-yard line.
Right.
That's pretty good range.
Right, and if he doing well that week in practice and I got confidence in it, he going to kick it, and we got the confidence in him to do it.
Well, talk about the week of work ready for Natchez. We'll talk about Natchez in a moment. A team that was 6-6 last year. A lot of new faces there. Just getting ready, the anticipation for the upcoming year, just from the players.
The kid is ready. We taking it one game at a time. Our middle schools and the JV program, they did a good job this week going undefeated. So it's our job tonight to do the same thing. Natchez has a good team, great quarterback. I mean, tall kid, transfer from a private school down there. He gonna be a challenge in himself. He brings a different type of excuse me, thing to scout for. Same thing with how Clinton quarterback was. They kind of like the same type of kid, young, can throw the football. But if we do what we're supposed to do, we go out there and get us a W. And that's just how I look at it. Great coaching staff. I know I Coach Davis well. He's one of my good friends. I've learned some stuff from him. They're gonna be big up front. They got good skill guys on the edge. They real aggressive on defense. That's one thing I can say about them. Like last year, they was the same way. Like they just had this insanely good defense that pursued to the football. But we got some of the same things. So if our kids do what they're supposed to do, we get it done.
You talked about the team, and then of course JV. But I saw Jamboree as well as last year. I thought it was a really good concept. I don't know if this is something that's common. You got ninth grade, eighth grade teams. You got two teams on each side of the field, just kind of doing some stuff. That's really unique. Is that something that's throughout the state? Is it something that you all have just started doing?
Well, some people do. Depending on, I guess, roster sizes and things of that nature, how you can get all the kids work in a good amount of time. Because think about it, we would probably be playing, if we play JV and varsity, we probably playing 2 games instead of just trying to combine them in one. So it's just a format that kind of get the kids on the field and get them running around and doing what they're supposed to do. We recorded both of them, so I was able to evaluate the kids and kind of see who needs to work on wood and things of that nature. To me, JV is for development, and those kids developing well, and they're the next crop of group that's gonna be there. So that's what you want.
So talk about the JV and that next group. What do you see? What can Gator fans be excited about as the next group?
Oh, we got dogs from 12th to like 7th grade. Like it's kids everywhere within the Gator organization, and people need to start praising that and noticing that. We got good coaches who doing their jobs, and you hear a lot of time on social media and things of that nature. People always like bashing Vicksburg. I just think they just scared of Vicksburg. They scared of what Vicksburg is going to be and what we could be. So, I'm always singing them praises to the staff and the coaches and the teachers and the administrators and everybody. Like, we got a good thing going here at this school, and this year we're gonna step on it and make it be known.
You're a big part of that organization. You handpicked all those coaches, so everybody's kind of playing on a string from 8th grade team, JV. They're all kind of on a string with knowing the system that goes with it.
All right, very strategic. All our coaches have played college ball. Some of them played, some of them been All-Americans, Mississippi Alabama game, Players of the Year. Like, it's some accolades on the coaching staff from 12 to 7. So these guys know what they're doing, and the proof is in the pudding. Been very dominant the first week. So hopefully we keep that going and people understand it.
Well, let's look at Natchez, Coach. They were 6-6 last year. I was looking at some information on their Jamboree last week. They had 208 yards of offense in the Jamboree last week. They played Franklin County. They have a sophomore quarterback, and Eric Hutchins Jr. is their quarterback, a young team. What can you say about Coach Davis's team? You referenced him. Veterans on defense, they lost 23.
Very skillful. They got a couple kids that if you don't tackle them and put them on the ground, they catch the ball, they gone. A real good receiver out there. I think his last name's Owens. That kid can play football, and just him. He brings a different dynamic to try to prepare for the quarterback in itself. When you get a big, tall quarterback like that, they can see over the line. He can make all the throws. He's a challenge. So just trying to get pressure on him and put a hand in his face or get sacks and things, that's going to be a challenge, but we up to it. I mean, we got a good team. We starting 7 sophomores right now on our defense, so they're going to have to grow up early and be able to play, but they surround around some good seniors who kind of lead up on the way, so it's going to be fun. Natchez is always a challenge. It's kind of like a small rivalry. I kind of compared them to like Holmes County, where we kind of created these like little rivalries with each other, very aggressive games. We're 2-2 against them the past 4 years. So it's gonna be fun to go down there and kind of tee it up with them and kind of see how that goes.
I really like the rivalry. I mean, take a look at that, and I think 2 schools an hour away, similar program, both trying to get. I think we had high scoring.
Right.
So I think that's expect a shootout. Do you expect kind of a low score? I know you would like a low score.
Our goal is always they don't score, they don't win. So that's just my defensive mentality. I can't escape it. It ain't arrogance, it ain't nothing, but I feel like we got the kids to if that we play our A game, we're gonna be good every game we go into. So my expectation for this group, this team is high, and just trying to get them to match their expectation. You know, a lot of times you get in interviews and things of that nature, and you don't want to say a certain thing, but nah, I want my team to go out there and dominate. Like I want to beat them bad, and I want us to come home. And I say that humbly, but we got a good team in that room, and we play that Vicksburg football. We're gonna be all right. So the kids know the expectations go in to be dominant, and you know you playing a good team. If you sit around, they'll beat you. And Natchez is a good team, so that's just how we're gonna do it.
What's the underrated part about that?
The skill guys, you know, they can hit it. They always gonna have those good skill guys, you know, following them throughout the summer. They got kids that can run, and if you don't tackle them and get them on the ground and play your assignments the right way, they'll get you. They'll burn you. And it happened to us last year. You know, they hit us on those deep balls. You know, you let them sit around, and that happened. It's just trying to get the kids to understand it's like play a game every play. So we do that for 4 quarters, we're gonna be good.
How hungry are your players trying to get that win?
Well, they keep hearing people say it. You know, you hear people bash the coaches, bash the school, bash you, and you get tired of it. So the best way to I guess it ain't even the best way to get rid of that is every time somebody look at the newspaper Saturday morning, they see Vicksburg and whoop somebody. They done won the football game. And that's the mindset we got to take into the year, no matter who we playing, whether it's the first game or the last game, whether it's a 1A or a 9A, you want to beat them and be dominant. And we got the kids to do that, and that's the mentality. That's what we're going to do.
Keys to victory.
Play Vicksburg football. I mean, you do that, you're going to be good. I mean, don't make stupid mistakes. Don't do nothing to get us shot in the foot. Go in and play your A game 1 through 4, and we're going to be all right.
Coach, we appreciate it. Let's go get them.
I appreciate you.
That's Vicksburg High Coach Chris Lacey. We'll take a time out here. Back with the kickoff coming up.